What's up, y'all?
Oh, can y'all see us? Can y'all hear us? We are here. We missed last week, but we are back for this one,
In-
y'all. Y'all
in-
shocked?
India missed last week. India missed
Yeah, 'cause
last
I
week. I
didn't
was
watch
ready.
last week until yesterday. Today.
Today.
We got two whole
Crazy.
people. Yes, two people on the live.
Y'all,
Announce yourself. Oh, now one person. Hold on. Where y'all going? Where
it's
y'all going?
okay. They'll be back. They'll be back.
Okay, y'all. Anyways, we're here to talk about this episode. We're gonna talk about, a little bit about the one we missed, which was last week's. They were still at the honeymoon. Hey y'all. They were still at the honeymoon. So you want to kick that one off?
Yes, because hi fam, you chick girl. Last week was like a good episode to me. I'm so annoyed that India was like, "I'm not watching this show. This is dumb." She was mad that Lifetime itself is like spoiling the episodes and showing us these previews, and so India is hating. But I get it. But last week's episode was good,
It was
so
alright. This week's was fine too.
it was fine. Like, okay, these
Mm,
shorter episodes are giving what they need to give.
much better.
The couples, so I thought the craziest things that happened, obviously, how do we not want to talk about Clint and Clint? Oh, you fell asleep. How do we not want to talk about Clint and the fact that that it was like a whole little like Slender Gate, like, oh, you said I was fat, and
Yeah,
he
we
was
gotta talk
like,
about that.
I didn't say that. So India and I think are in agreement, and I don't know if it's popular opinion or not, but Clint wasn't that wrong. Like, saying something in front of a bunch of people can obviously put you in a predicament, but she said stuff, he said stuff. He was talking about who he usually be dating. If the shoe don't fit, like, why you tripping? Like, if you think you in good shape, then you could be like, look,
And
I don't
a
know
hit
what you
dog
think
will
you look
holler.
good.
A hit dog will holler. And what Clint
Yep.
said on the after party was that she brought it up. She brought up that we were not initially were not initially attracted to each other. He because of my size, me because of his features and hair color, whatever. He brought it up. She brought it up. So he said he was just elaborating on that and said, "Well, yes, I'm used to dating slender." So for me, he not wrong.
And I don't know why anybody else was offended because he ain't married to you. So you wasn't on the list. And why do you care? If he's not your type, you're not his. Why? Like, how other people were offended for themselves. Like, Nicole, girl, sit down. Like, she was giving too much. She was giving too much. Like, yes, we were all offended. Okay, yes, you could
And
feel
Dominique too,
bad for your,
like
but mm-mm.
yeah, and then it carried on to the next episode, and it was stupid. I'm like, he need to apologize. She need to apologize too. Like she
And
kept,
right in that episode when she was like, "Oh my god," and he called her out like, "You said things about me too." I get when somebody is telling you that they don't like what you said. It kind of is annoying when they be like, "But you said this." I get that, but at the same time, it was on par. Like, it was relevant in that circumstance. It was relevant, and it's okay for him to be like, "Okay, you said stuff about me. I said stuff about you. Like, why is it a big deal?" So, the other thing that I thought was very interesting about last week
mm-hmm.
was how messy ass Shaquille went running back to his wife and told the story wrong. Like, I can't stand a bad game of telephone. That man
Oh, you
did
know,
not say
Eric
that she was
said,
not attractive. Aries, he went back running and saying that Aries said that he was not attracted to Jasmine. No, no. He said that Jasmine wasn't attractive. He said that he wasn't attracted to her, or his attraction level wasn't as high as he wanted it to be. But he called the girl a 10, a 12. He said she was pretty. He said she just wasn't attracted to him. Her.
Eris is lying. Eris is lying. He can't go in there and say she not my type. I don't like how she look. I don't like her mouth.
Right.
So he can say she's a beauty
Fine.
queen. I mean, she's not. Uh, I'm just not attracted.
That's fine though. Don't come saying what I didn't say. I didn't say that. Don't and you admit men are messy as hell. Men are messy.
Especially that kind of man.
Then he got in his feelings because his wife told him that he joked too much and she don't really like his personality. These people is out here just no cut cars, like talking shit to the people that they supposed to be in relationships with and thinking it's gonna work. It's not gonna work if you are going to sit up here and not hold your tongue a little bit and get past the hard part. The hard part is getting into someone's personality very quickly. Like, you guys are not getting gradual.
Yeah.
Like, you guys
I
have to
didn't
like
do that.
literally
What's his
back in
wife
the
name? Kirsten.
person.
I didn't like her being so judgmental about him. Like, it's one thing if yes, he jokes too much, but you continuously talking about, oh, you like critiquing someone's personality is crazy, because we could say you have the personality of nothing because you're boring. It's like watching paint
Or
dry. It's like watching nothing. Like, I'd rather watch paint dry. You have no personality. And he can say that, which is the opposite of you think he's overly silly or whatever. Why would you say that? If you don't like it, it doesn't work out, right? If you don't like it, you kind of just look at him when he's joking and he'll stop. Like, he's going to get the cues, like, okay, she don't like all that jokiness. Some of it is out of nervousness. We know how it works with people. You're
yeah.
boring. Come on, I don't want you to joke so much. You don't want him to joke about what you carrying your bag. You know, like, what can the man do? But when you don't like somebody, you're not attracted to them, it's nothing they can do right, because you would have
Because
overlooked
if
all
that
the
man had a crisp hairline and was tall, dark, and handsome, and she liked him,
yeah,
she'd be laughing at
you
all
would
his
say
jokes.
nothing. What do you mean Ernst got mad when he seen Kirsten? What do you mean by that, Dallas boss?
She
But
think
anyway,
Dallas boss thinks that Kirsten is, or yeah, Kirsten is more attractive. But
I
I mean,
mean, yeah, to
yeah,
him, I'm
but
sure, because she's a little bit thicker. He said he liked the big bums and
he
all of
did
that.
say he liked big booties. He did
She
say he
has a
liked,
big bum. When they was doing that
and she
dancing
got a shape.
scene, I said, oh yeah, she
She was
got a
very.
little, she got butt, she got body.
But I also think that that Eris looks a little sunken face and like a carved out pumpkin is
Somebody said
not
something that he was like a
bad,
carved out
but
pumpkin.
okay, okay.
Ooh.
Um,
Yeah, he got, to me they're equal on looks, but you can't tell nobody who to be attracted to. It might be literally her physical shape, it might be the face, it might be both. We don't know because he's not being honest. Let's be clear, he ain't gonna be honest, and I wouldn't be honest either. I ain't gonna
no, it's
lie.
mean. It's mean. It's mean.
He thinks she is on his level, and Jasmine is not. And anyway, she might be on his level because she's boring as hell. He's boring as hell. Okay, so
I
there we
just
go.
okay. So there we go. But okay, so then let's move to um what you call it?
What?
Mac and Dominique. From last episode, y'all. From last episode when she was getting mad at him, and he was playing too much
Complaint.
stuff.
Yeah. And
So
I want you to want to do this stuff. I don't want you to want to. If it's not him, it's not him. Just like Kirsten and
the hell
Shaquille.
out of me.
It's
She
you.
was on
That's my
Facebook. Yeah.
personality. You want me to just wake up and be adventurous? No, you wanted someone adventurous and you didn't get it, and that's not your fault. But that's not me. So I
And
am
I'm
doing
not
this stuff.
finna change. Right. I'm not
But if
finished.
you haven't
Like,
done this stuff,
these people are so poorly
but she's showing
matched.
her age. She's showing her age and her emotional immaturity. Because what you expect?
I mean, I would say everybody on the show is average except for Kirsten. I think Kirsten is a little bit above average. And I think Shaq, for the right person, is a little bit above average. They're the only couple that's slightly above average. Everybody else is, they're cool. Ain't nobody like
Yeah, nobody's ugly.
drop dead. Like Jasmina, I
Mm-hmm.
thought, in the season with Jasmina, I thought she
Oh
was,
yeah,
like, I
yeah.
thought she was strikingly gorgeous. I don't even
And
think Kirsten is.
Katina's husband, he was good looking for what it was. You
Yeah,
know, his face was
yeah.
good
There's
looking.
people that have been pretty good looking this season. Everybody is. So we gonna get to Mac and the Lion and everything else this
What
episode.
Mac lied
So,
about?
I mean, Mac lied about his living arrangements and him
Oh yeah.
living
Ooh.
for 5 months, sir. I don't know
Are
who
you
you
ready?
lying, but okay. Anyway, so was there anything else from last week? I thought last week was a good episode, but we ain't talk about it, so it is what it is. Um, the guys
All
had
right.
they. Oh, no. It's one more thing from last week. This whole Clint being with Dominique, that whole little preview that they now are showing during the episode and everything is giving wife swap, because when the guys were talking and when the girls were talking, Mac told Clint that he thought that Gina was attractive. And he was like, well, I think she's very attractive. And it was like, and then Aries and
Mhm.
Chris was looking at him like, sir, could you not be talking about somebody
Mhm.
else's wife? So it was giving
Mhm.
that these fools was about to swap. It ain't even just Clint and Dominique. I think they're about to wife swap. I don't know. So
Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, this
That
episode has stopped.
your nails is all in the video. Could you?
Sorry. Okay, so the episode starts. How start, Michelle, with them still talking about Clint
Yes,
and
the bros got together, or
yeah.
Gina and Clint were talking, and then the bros got together. So
Okay.
here's the thing: like this apology tour is hilarious. Like I don't, who cares? Who cares? I'm done.
This is the drama. This is how boring this damn show is.
Like what? We're done. We're done.
But what's
So
okay?
yes,
What's the first couple though?
I didn't take notes.
Neither. Okay, we could do Clint and Gina.
The first couple, it went from that to the couple's date, the dinner with everybody.
Right, and he went and apologized. Okay, so Clint went and apologized, but it wasn't no apology. I watched the after show. They said Clint's apology was 45 minutes of just talking in
Right.
circles, yeah, and trying to defend himself, whatever. I wonder, I'm curious as to whether when they watched it back now, if they see that maybe he
Why
wasn't
he
as much
was the
in the wrong as they thought. Because I get their reaction if they just thought he was totally, in the wrong. But I don't know. I don't like him having to keep apologizing for stuff. Like,
I mean, I feel you, but also white men don't really be knowing how to apologize anyway. So he probably doesn't really think he's wrong. But he has said, even on the after show last week, he said that he would not have done it that way. He understands.
yeah.
Like he took ownership of it,
Yeah,
whatever.
his whole ego was bruised because she wasn't attracted to him. But however, if you tell me you're not attracted to me 5 times, I have a right to
I'm getting my get
explain.
back.
Like,
I'm getting
yeah,
my get
like
back.
period.
And,
Like, we're not above that. You're not going to
right.
keep bruising my ego, and you think you all that in a bag of chips, Miss. I got a 26-inch waist, and
And lip
but
fillers. Because he could have said I'm not into lip fillers. Then what?
mm, there we go.
So
There we go.
um
So what happened? Meanwhile, he tries to justify at the dinner. Okay, he apologized.
so
Okay,
at
and
the
then okay, let's
dinner.
go with Dominique. You want to go with? Oh, you continue talking about dinner. That's fine.
Oh, so at the dinner though, that's when they want to go around and ask everybody to rate the relationships, Gina.
Which we know why.
Who what?
We know it's produced. It was
And
produced.
then the nerd. Okay, so I don't. They always the show always want to make one couple the villain. The couple that thinks that they got their whole shit together, they want to be the villain, so they got them talking about everybody else. So I'm cracking up when Chris and Nicole are like somebody is lying, or no, maybe it was Dominique and what's his name?
No, it
It
was
was
Chris. It
it
was
was
Chris.
Chris, right? They was like
Chris
somebody
said
lying.
somebody's
I was
lying.
like,
And then the show was messy and they put it to the clip back when he was saying Aries was a 4 and he
before,
thinks she's at a
okay.
12. I'm like, well, what does she do to make you think that she's all on you like that? Because she seems to be holding back too, like we just not there. She don't seem to be all up on
She
him.
said 12. Oh, and then on this episode, she gave some background, some history, some tea on what happened between them in the show. So there's a little more to it. There's a little bit more to it. But yeah, the whole rating thing, like it's fake. Like if you don't want to have like the only people that could be honest were Clint and Gina because they were in the midst of just reconciling
Yeah.
from argument. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
oh,
Yeah, that's true. And it's like, well, with the other ones, okay, what's the other one? Nicole and Chris, they gave us 7 because they didn't know. But I
and
guess
Nicole
it should
talked too
be
much.
rated where you are now. She basically said we would be a 10 now, but I don't know them like that yet. So to me, wouldn't it be rated about where you are now for where you thought you would be in a marriage at Married at First Sight? Anyways, it's awesome BS. I thought they stopped rating a couple seasons ago, but clearly they did not stop rating. Um, McKinley and Dominique. Was it this episode where Dominique was trying to tell him to change himself, or was that last episode?
It was both. They started that. So yes, you're right. They the two that was the couple. They was in a room talking, and he was basically telling her like, "Look, I get it. You don't like me being all jokey joke. My sense of humor does not,
Right.
work for you. However, I'm gonna work on that, but I don't think you're working on yourself. I need some reciprocation, and I'm with him on that too. Like, girl, ain't nobody.
I'm glad he called her out because I was starting to think he didn't have a backbone. But I'm
It,
glad he called her out. And then she kind of stepped back a little bit and was like, "You're right, but she's childish."
she is a
But
child.
I was glad he called her out because I'm like, okay, girl, you all right, but you doing too much. Like you didn't get the guy you thought you were gonna get, and now you're mad that he is basically not who you thought he was. But you kind of just gotta accept it and try to move forward. Like
But
you
at the
trying to
like
down him doesn't make sense.
these people acting like they don't know what this show is driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts. And maybe it's all for whatever they're saying. It's for the producers. The producers need this stuff. But it's Dominique definitely gives dead eyes. Like she literally never looks like she cares. What's wild though,
Because he got a crush on the other one.
what's wild, yes, I guess. But she was the first one talking about how Clint wasn't shit for saying that. So she definitely backtracked. She all up in his face kissing him. And Clint clearly slender is not the only thing that he does because Dominique is giving curves. She got
Yeah.
big old middies. But and anyway, after that, they end the vacation and go home. Let's just talk about when they go home.
We are talking about Dominic and McKinley.
Dominique
Yeah.
McKinley.
So I ain't gonna lie, I was with Miss Dominique.
I was with her too, but not for the reasons, same reasons. The
Okay, what
reason
was your
I'm
for?
with her is
Okay.
because he's lying. And when you go and stay in somebody's house, if you really are like, okay, I moved to Nashville, I'm staying here, like you're gonna be like, okay, hey, can I move some of this stuff? Like, can I make it my own if I'm gonna stay here for 6 months? He's not staying, he's been there for a month. He found out about the show. He said, I'm gonna say I've been here. He be probably traveling for doing other stuff. Like, I
Work
just
from
don't
home.
think that he's really
Mm-hmm.
been there. So I think he moved in when he found out, or 2 weeks before he found out that he was gonna be on the show. Like it, I don't
He
think that he
didn't
just
move in. He moved in when he found out. Because
right.
why
And
would he
so
move in?
you're lying, and so this is you're in somebody's guest room and you're just staying there. No, none of this is your space. And on the after show, Jasmine was like, I kind of understand there was a lot of judgment. No, it's not judgment, it's called intuition. Like my intuition is that you're full of shit.
Well, well, he
Salvation.
is. He is. And Dom called him out on it. And
And
I see that
so
their marriage is about to go downhill very fast.
she's not moving in with him. We don't know why, but she's not moving in with him. And it is going down very fast. But
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
she sees right through this. Like, what? He literally looks like he's staying in somebody's guest room. Like,
He
you don't
is. He
care.
doesn't live there. He does not live there. And then he kept, to her point, it's like you're making, and regardless, you are nomad because you done move from here to here to here to here. Even if you did live there for a few months, you keep making jokes like, oh, your stuff can't fit, your stuff can't fit. No, what was your plan? If you didn't get this show just a month ago or 6 weeks ago when you found out or whatever, if you didn't get the show, what were you going to do? Were you not planning on living here? She don't believe that because she knows, even if he's not lying. But you're lying. You had no plans to live there. Tomorrow, I was waiting for my. For, you wasn't waiting for nothing. You didn't know if you was gonna be on the show. And allegedly, you've been there for 5 months. So what were you gonna do? Why are you living there? Do you work there? No, you work from home, right? It was just confusing. He's a liar.
Ain't
I
nobody
wouldn't.
staying in somebody's room for 5 months. And
A friend, not their parents, not their parents. Like they went, they're in between stuff. A friend's parents' house. You stayed there just for the show. You're
she
not staying
knows
with your
it.
friend's parents' house as a 34-year-old person for months
And
for
I
no reason.
And I think that the problem is they not either if she's saying it, they not airing it, and if they not in or they not letting her say it. The production isn't. Because the bottom line is it just seems very fake. Him being on the show seems very fake and
I agree.
contrived, not really trying to be really on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming across to her and she knows it. And so she's not trusting it. But her talking about, I mean, I'm used to dating older guys and they need to own their own house. Like, okay, girl, this is not that and that is not this. He just moved to you.
No. And do
Like,
you own
so
a house? Like, why? What are these expectations? Anyways, who's next? We can do
nothing else. You don't care about nothing else. What else happened with them? Nothing.
nothing. That was the end for them. They went to the house for them. They ain't had nothing else going on. They talked
Well,
about
she said she wasn't moving. So they went to the joint house, the apartment. Everybody went to their apartments.
and did they have a breakdown of anything? Because I didn't see nothing for them.
Oh, I don't
Now
remember.
I remember Aries. I remember the other black girl, Kirsten. I do not remember them discussing living arrangements, sleeping arrangements, nothing.
Because they not finna let it
Decor,
together.
decor, nothing. I ain't see nothing.
Yeah.
Um,
So who you want to do next?
we could do Kirsten and Shaquille. Shaq.
Oh, so Kirsten and Shaquille. They are he's it's very clear they were laying in bed together and he gave her a kiss on her forehead and she kind of looked weird. Like there's no connection there. There's no chemistry. They say it on the next episode. But there are like this season is a whole waste. And y'all saw that I know I'm jumping around, but y'all saw that your girl and Miguel are filing for divorce from last season. And so these episodes, we are now 2 seasons worth of zero couples.
Well, besides, oh no, what season was that? Brianna and the one that they just had a baby. What season was that? That was 3 seasons ago.
That was Atlanta.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So they
Yeah.
are now 0 for 5 because also Elijah, the season before that was Elijah and Katina. They were the last couple. They are not together. None of the
Hmm.
couples are staying together. Yes, this is a reality show of put two people together and see if they like each other. Like, what are we doing now?
Yeah, especially because they had some success. I mean, the success rate is still about 20%, but
No, it's
it was
not. It's low, low. It's way
yeah,
lower
it
than
might be
that.
10%. Yeah, you're right. We're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to look at all the couples. I'm sure there's articles out there, whatever. But
Yes,
anyway,
but yes, EB.
Kirsten, I don't feel her like that. Like she's a beautiful girl. She just is not giving anything. It's not giving TV, and I don't like the control. She just seems controlling. I mean, she seems like a Southern belle. She said she's gonna wash his clothes and all of that stuff. She seems like okay. She might make a good wife. She does her wifely
Quote
duties.
unquote.
However,
Mm.
uh, it's
Shaquille can only put on a face for so long. He knows that she's not attracted to him. He's getting in bed with her every night and she's not giving him nothing. He's not touching her booty or nothing. Like,
ooh.
he's not here for it.
So you think Kirsten is turned off about him by acting like a woman too? Well, maybe she is. However, she still has no personality.
But
She's
she
still not
has
giving
no
us.
personality.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if I'm a key with you, at least like you, my home girl, minimum. He ain't a bad person like that. That's I mean, you can say no in the 8 weeks. But if we cool, we kicking it, we hanging out, we joking around, we at the bars, we in the house. Like if
It
I'm
ain't
like,
no hunching. It ain't no hunching, EB. It ain't nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
child, oh, she said 5%. It wasn't much on them. They didn't get into it or anything. He basically was, yeah. They didn't get into it about anything. This episode was actually less
Yeah, I don't
eventful.
even remember what was on them. Um, what I will say is the next episode in the previews, that's when they ask if there's any chemistry, and she says no. And it's very clear there's no chemistry. It's very clear that she is still not kissing him or giving him any attention. Let's be clear. You don't have to be having sex. And me and India was just talking about this, but people go on first dates and second dates and kiss people. So we're not going to sit up
Hmm.
there and act like you can't be kissing your husband at this point. Like,
Hmm.
she's being
Hmm.
weird.
Yeah, you don't have to be doing it, but
She's being weird.
they said Shaq is
That
going to turn
turns
into
to
a
a mean girl.
mean. Ooh, I hope not for his sake. That's not going to be a
I
good
don't
look.
want him to be sassy. I get it. He does have some tendencies, but I really think it's more of the raised by your grandma tendencies
Yeah.
than truly like he's, bisexual or.
Yeah. Same. I thought he could be, and I don't put nothing past nobody. However, he just has a few. He's just a little bit feminine. That's it. It
Shaq
don't
would
seem.
be straight up. He would be giving Kirsten the business right now if he could. He wants to jump her bones. So
Yo, they going in on Shaq.
his,
Um, yeah, I would
no,
have been so mad
Dallas
if y'all
boss is going in on Shaq. I can't.
okay. Um. We talked about Dominique. We talked about Shaq. Okay. What's the other black couple? We could talk about Aries and because Aries. Now, Aries thinks he is Idris Elba, honey.
He does.
Aries has some type of false sense of something.
Confidence. He is quite confident.
He is. Now, his house was cute. I ain't gonna lie,
His
but
house was cute.
okay. Then I remember he's 40, so I'm not clapping for that. You have a good job. He's a software developer. You make good money. Of course, you're gonna have a nice house, right? You're 40.
You should.
So, anyways, but I was like, oh, this is cute. He keeps it clean. It seems like he's not living a double life or lying. Like, you know what I mean? He is who he presented himself to be, but he really has some nerve. He really has some nerve. Let me look at my
Dallas
stuff.
Boss is going in so hard on his looks. We really try not to go in on people's looks because some things you can change, some things you can't change. We usually talk about the things you can change. And Jasmine should go to an orthodontist. And another experience, I think that that she has some dentistry that needs to happen too. Like her teeth was looking yellow and not good on the bottom. Like if somebody has bad dental hygiene, I'm not going to be attracted to them. It's going to immediately be a turnoff. So Aries,
that's true. That's very
you
true.
look at somebody's teeth every day and you just like, it's going to be a turnoff.
Yeah.
He is thrown. I think he's thrown by the orthodontics. I really do. I think he's thrown by the dental hygiene.
But I agree with FAMU. He's selfish. He's spoiled.
He's used to that. The only
He's not
child.
talking soft to her. Oh, okay.
Remember, he says,
to me, it's too rough with his language to her. Like, she's still a woman. Be delicate with her. Like, be honest, but be delicate with her. Like, he just says whatever. And she is kind of taking it. She's taking it a little bit.
So on the after show, remember how they were having the conversation in the bedroom about their where they thought they were, and she was like, well, things have been a little rough, and he said that he feels like they're in the friend zone right now.
Yes.
On that show, she explained that they basically, there's a lot of shit happening off screen, let's be clear. So she said that they basically were exchanging information, getting everybody's stuff, and he ended up getting her. They ended up exchanging Instagram, and so they saw they had mutual friends. So they had one mutual friend, so and so. Then they had another, and then one of the mutual friends, she was like, "Oh, how do you know so and so?" And he was like, "Wait, you know her?" And he was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Well, how?" And basically, it was the person that he was messing with right before he got on the show.
Yeah, 2 weeks before. I mean, 2 weeks before the marriage, the day before.
The last time he had sex with her was the day before he found out he was going to be on the show. So I feel like that threw something in there that's going to throw them off. She's not feeling that. And it's really going to be a little difficult for her, I guess, to get past the fact that he's, he was in them streets. But let's be clear. All of these people she might be the only one that her and Nicole are there for marriage. Chris is probably there for marriage.
And I think whatchamacallit is there for marriage? Kirsten. She just not ready for marriage. I don't think she's there for a check. You don't think?
Not there for marriage because she's not even, I don't think Kirsten was there for marriage. She was there for a check. I think everybody was there for a check.
Well, she said on the after show that it bothered her because somebody said, I don't know why about them, because she was preparing to be married and you out there having sex, and it happened to be with somebody I know 2 weeks before. Because I was wondering that too. I was like, well, it wasn't after he found out. He confirmed, she confirmed, it was before he found out he was going to be in the show. But I guess it's just weird. And if it's your friend, what if it's not a friend of me and it's an actual friend?
But he said they were dating too.
They were dating. Yeah, that's different. What if that's a friend? What if that's somebody a friend of a friend, or somebody she sees often, and to know that he had sex with her 3 weeks ago from the honeymoon, 3 weeks ago. That is not a long time.
That's rough. And Donna Clinton, I said the same thing about Jasmine's teeth. They did seem a little bit better. So I wondered if she started getting clean, like if she got them whitened a little bit, and if she maybe started Invisalign or something that's not permanent, because there were no braces on her teeth. But she could have Invisalign. But either way, it would be a turn-off for me to meet someone at their big age and they not find having certain dental work to be important to them.
I agree. So
I
anyway,
don't think every smile has to be perfect. I'm not saying that at all.
but yeah,
But having
it got to be hard to look at. She's not an ugly girl, and the
and
fact that
she's so conscious about it. She covers her
and
mouth
she's
when
a
she laughs.
pageant girl. You're a cheer girl. You're smiling. You're and you cover your mouth when you laugh. So it has to be a confidence thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, so they went to Aries' house. That was fine. He, seemed pretty clean. Seemed like he lived like he said he had his little man cave upstairs. Like it looked fine. Clearly, he was never been married before. He's never lived with a woman before. It looked good enough for him to be whatever. It looked pretty new too. I don't think they went to her place. Not at least not on this episode.
No, and on the after show, she said she lives with her parents. So if they
So
did, they may have
yeah,
just decided not to show it.
yeah, she lived with her parents because she's in a transition. So that's another thing. It's like it's a lot of other things that can be going on besides not attracted.
All of these people is trying to get down payments for houses and pay off bills and shit. Like this is not a real show.
That part. They went to the joint place, and Eris was like, "I need this, I need that, I need this, I need the left side, I need this part of the closet. Don't wear no shoes in my house." I wasn't mad at him for that. He already gonna be mad because she got them 2011 dogs. So the least you can do
the
is
2011 dogs can't come because Chris
only
already
two.
let us know it's only two.
Girl, I can't wait till we talk about that. Oh my gosh, I gotta go soon, y'all. I have to talk about that man crying like that, y'all. Anyways, okay, Aries and Jasmine, nothing really happened besides the fact that he was going in and she was like, and she keeps calling my husband, to the group when they would say the name, she would be like, oh, my husband. On all the confessionals, my husband. And then in the little regular confessional, my husband, he's so bossy. He's so my husband. And it's like, it's always the my husband, my husband ones that it be in shambles. Y'all notice that? Girl, you claiming him a little bit harder. He might be right. She is on that 12 and he on the 4 because you claiming him too much. I'm calling him Aries. Aries the stranger.
Aries.
That's it.
Okay. Chris and Nicole.
Y'all. I was
that man was boo-hooing.
Was that the first part with them? Well, besides the dinner when they rated each other, they came to him crying like that. I thought
someone died. Like, who did
I thought someone died or possibly a dog died. Something died.
Something died. Everyone thought it was death. Death was the only explanation for that because what we do when we find out that our dogs may or may not be able to live with us is we problem solve. That's what we do. We don't cry, Chris, we put on our big boy pants and we say, well, let's figure out how to work.
I was shocked. And I was looking up, am I toxic? Is this toxic masculinity I'm expecting? Because I was like, man up. You acting like a man up. Like, what are you doing?
He was not. Nicole did not act that way. Nicole had the same information.
You're right. But he was acting like.
But Nicole on the after show was standing up for her man. She was like, but I mean, to be fair, the whole time he thought he was going to be able to bring his dogs. Yes. And so did everybody else. That is not a reason.
Yeah, he's not the only one with dogs. And she loves her dogs equally. She was missing her dogs. She was willing to make a sacrifice and do something. Like, you sitting up there crying. Problem could have been solved. We're either not moving in this apartment, or we gonna have to do 3 days in an apartment. Maybe I get somebody to watch my dogs, and then I stay 3 days separate. 3 days in an apartment.
People have dogs on this damn show. People figure it out. People take their dogs. People's dogs don't get along. Last season, people's dogs don't get along. You got to figure out what to do. This man crying like that, like, who raised you?
I was pissed. I was so pissed.
The fact that he immediately was crying with his head down and he was like ugly crying.
It was sad, y'all. I was pissed off for her because I said, and I said she has to give into his emotion. He's emotionally stunted. I said, what would not make you go into, as a parent, you're a dog parent, right? What would not make you go into resolve mode and let's try to figure out how we're going to resolve this issue? What would make you, as a grown adult, not reconcile those feelings right there? She started crying when she was talking to her dad when he gave her suggestions of keeping the dog. He was emotional about it.
But
Yeah, he was not boo-hooing uncontrollably. You a grown man. If this is an indication of the relationship, she's going to have to be conceding to his little emotions and be the leader. It is no reason. I would look at that. That would be a severe turnoff. I have to use my leadership skills and my emotional maturity to talk you off the edge over something
no,
that it was
no,
20 different solutions. And
no.
she found one within the same episode.
I'm leading at work. You lead at home, sir. You figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, it could at least be half and half. Like, look, I'm sad about this, but what we gonna do? You come
Wait,
to
frappes and tea. You think he was testing her? Those were real tears. Those were real tears. Honestly, actually, he was manipulative. It was manipulative as because she has a dog too, and he knows she has a dog. So he basically said, "Well, if I cry first, my dogs get to stay."
Michelle. You might have to continue this by yourself. I gotta go.
Okay, y'all, we're gonna keep talking for about 2-3 more minutes. It's been real, India. Let's finish this up, you guys. So I just don't understand why the solution was still hers to figure out. And the nerve of him and his horny dog, is his dog fixed or not? Because his dog runs up in the house and his dog is humping the air. Like, you, sir. And they laying on the bed like one dog can lay here and one dog can lay here. People have lived in separate homes. Crazy Michaela and Zachary was sleeping separately, taking their dogs other places. Like, what is happening here that this man for 2 months cannot figure out how to figure his dog situation out? It was too much for me. Nicole is going to probably thrive under this because for whatever reason, she says she doesn't want a man she could walk all over, but I think she definitely wants a man she could walk all over. It honestly, y'all, it reminds me that of this couples therapy show, and there was a Jewish couple on there, and the Jewish wife used to be so mad at her husband for being a pushover, but then she used to literally like dog walk him. So I don't understand. I don't know what, I don't know why. I don't know what. But what I do know is that Chris is not running anything in that household at all. Um, maybe okay. So armchair psychologist. Maybe Chris had to watch the last season and see how Justin abandoned me. Justin's dog also attacked a dog, and that was another different situation. But it with that in mind, honestly, take a step back. To me, with that in mind, I feel like you should be concerned with, oh my God, is the person I'm gonna marry gonna have dogs? Are they gonna are the dogs gonna get along? What's gonna happen? Like those should all be things that you're already thinking about and that you already have to be like, okay, well, what are we gonna do if that happens? It's not forever, it's for 2 months. The dog, like, I don't know. But Nicole came up with a plan, and Chris he disappointed me. He really did. Um, that was the last couple. So I know India had to leave us, but I think that Chris and Nicole are still going to be the ones that make it because on the after show, Nicole was definitely caping for her man, and she was not turned off. Because what's to call it? Asked her, Keisha Knight Pulliam asked her, like, were you turned off? She was like, no. It actually made me happy to see how much he loves his dogs and how emotional he got. I was like, okay, sis. Okay, sis. Okay, sis. I'm good. Um, I just Chris food, like y'all, Chris food. He cried for everybody, and I don't know. Like, is he gonna? I don't know. I don't know if she likes it. Good for her. The next episode, we're about to see who makes it and who doesn't. But two couples or three couples don't move in with each other. Jasmine, no, not Jasmine. My bad, y'all. Clint and Gina do not move in together. Dominique and McKinley do not move in together. And I think that's it. The other three, I think, move in, but we're going to see. There's also drama with Kirsten and Shaq. So we're looking at 1 for 5, and that relationship ain't going to last forever. But the same one couple that we thought was going to make it is going to be the only couple that makes it on this episode or on this season because I can't. I I don't know. This episode was okay. I thought last episode was better because of the Gina and Clint drama. We'll see. Pastor Cal is back. I don't know which other. We don't even know which other um experts there are. I guess Dr. Pepper. I don't know because I don't ever watch y'all. I don't watch the casting specials, so I never remember who. I don't know who is involved. I know Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal were involved in that, but I don't know what's gonna happen after. Um, the experts don't do any of the work. I just honestly at this point we should just stop talking about the experts. They do not match these people. Production and casting matches these people. Nobody. The experts are not matching these people. So they're on this show for a check, just like everybody else. Everybody has sold out. Everybody's here for a check, and that's that. Um. Okay, who's kissing? Let me look and see. Somebody said a kiss must happen on the next episode. No. So the kiss between Clint and Dominique, a lot of people think that the kiss is after the season. The fact that Lifetime is using it as a teaser to drag people along either means this season is going to be trash because we're only on episode 5 and there's usually like 15 or 16 episodes, or they do change it up mid-season, and so we might see a little something. I don't really know, but I do know that I think that it might be a wife swap. Something about this just in my soul really makes me think that McKinley is gonna like start talking to Gina too. I just don't think it's one-sided. We'll see. um I don't know if anybody has anything else, but thanks for sticking around. We will see y'all next week, and I'm gonna try to make sure that we get it on time next week, and that India watches because she be playing. But it was good seeing you guys. Bye.